but I swore at her. And this dude said, you don't have to talk to her like that. I was like, you're gonna get your fucking teeth knocked out for her?
It doesn't matter
dude.
what you think.
And I was already pissed. I was like, you're gonna get your ass kicked for her? Like, you understand she's not gonna suck your dick. Like, she doesn't want to fuck you, right? So if you want to get your ass kicked for her, that's fine. I'm just saying you're not getting any pussy. He didn't say a goddamn thing to, because my fucking eyes, and I was probably on coke at that point too, which probably didn't help to not exacerbate the situation. Most men are not going to be able to do this because of the world around us. Both men and women alike are going to directly and indirectly shame and intimidate you from doing and saying what needs to be done to keep your woman in line. You don't have to talk to her that way. And you're going to make me not talk to her that way, right? I don't know. You can tell the difference, and I don't want to get too far off in the weeds here, guys, but this is why it's important to learn how to fight. Because when you know you can physically defend yourself, you don't put up with fuckery from men or women. So if they cut it in line, now if it's 3 guys who cut in line, you have to make the decision, okay, it's 3-on-1. There's no way I can run up.
Are we going to fight over some fries?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get my ass kicked for some chips, all right?
Yeah.
But in certain, or pizza. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Pepperoni pizza.
Oh man.
Guys, like the video, by the way. We got 4,100 y'all in here. Subscribe to Donovan Sharpe's channel. He's giving y'all a lot of heat right now. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay.
Is it worth fighting?
Most men are not going to be able to do this. Not because you're lesser men, not because you just don't have what it takes. It's because everything around us, people and the environment, are keeping you from doing what needs to be done. On the other side, most women cannot adhere to this training for the same reasons. Why were you able to stick with it?
Whew. Oh, wow.
Good question.
That is a good question.
Because I didn't give you the combination to the lock.
Part of it was to see if I could.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, it was a challenge, and I figured, like, okay, if I, like, and it becomes like, okay, I can do this, right? Any woman can fake it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months. A year, not so much.
Well, at that point, if she's been faking it for that long, it kind of becomes who she is.
Exactly. So,
She gonna have to change,
well, you know, and there is a little bit of a fake it till you make it kind of thing, but that is involved with every learning curve that there is. And this is a learned behavior. Just like unlearning the bad habits are there, learning a new behavior to take its place is there. So why did I stick with it? I don't know. I just really liked you, and plus at that point, I was so invested.
Oh yes,
because I kept coming up with ways to like try to like make him like me even more. You know, like I'll send him cookies, and I'll plan these experiences. Because I know that you value like time and experiences more than like things, you know. So I try to be like do things that were thoughtful, like he's going on a 5-hour road trip. I'll make him like a Spotify playlist, you know, like the old school mixtape.
Yeah, that Caleb West Elm game. He was doing that to all the girls.
Was he really?
Oh God.
I think from what I can see here, just from observing you two, for when you guys were here in Miami and how you guys are on stream as well, I think you have a genuine desire, like Rolo says, for Donovan. You do anything it takes to keep him happy, and that drove you to be, you know what, I'll listen to what he has to say and do it because I love him that much. So that's respect.
I not only respect him, I trust him implicitly. And that's something I don't think I've ever learned how to do before. Is most women these days don't know how to trust men. Yeah. They this independence
niggas ain't shit.
They've been so ingrained, and especially like the single mom culture is that you need to rely on yourself. Men can let you down at any point in time, but they never learned how to actually trust and depend on anybody. And they think it's a weakness, but it's not. It's a strength. And to be able to be that soft place that a man lands on at the end of the day, and be that nurture and like really be able to take care of a man or a family is it's a gift, and it's something that no other person in the world can do. Yeah, you know. So. I don't know.
Well, you have to, on the other side of that, you have to be a trustable man.
Yes, I didn't hold the guys accountable too.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't tell Dev, I want X, Y, Z, A, B, and C. No, I understood that if I was going to get compliance from her, she needed to see and understand, okay, this is what I could potentially get in return. And the Hawaii trip, even though she paid for it, Devon, what did she said was like the most relaxing thing that you had ever done.
I
ever.
cried at the end of it.
Oh,
like the
God.
last day I was crying. He's like, why are you crying? I'm like, I've just never felt like this before. Like I've never felt so relaxed and like just taken care of, even though it was like we rented a car, you drove everywhere.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like it was my job to look good and chill. And I was like, this is new, like I don't have to do everything.
Yeah. It was.
And,
it's a symbiotic relationship, and it also helps that we get along. Because I like I told her, I like her. We're not friends, but I like her as a person. We get along well. We don't have anything in common, but a lot of you have to have something. No, you don't have to have anything in common with your woman. You just have to be able to get along with her, and that means not just getting into stupid fights over nothing. But going back to what you were saying, you have to be trustable. Now, I want you to tell the audience why is it? Because I put a lot of demands on you. Why did you trust me? What about me said, okay, I'm going to do this for this guy?
Well, I'm going to be straight honest here. Like, you had other girls doing it for you. It was like that preselection going on. That
You said it, I didn't?
Yeah, I mean, I got to admit, like, some of the things that I saw when
But
we
they were
first started
fat and
talking-
ugly.
No, some of the things I saw when we first started talking, I was like, God dang, like, holy cow. Like, okay, so.
Your boy is getting it in.
What really is this guy all about? But just it went from trusting you from little things to bigger things to just saying, you know what, this guy's consistent. Consistency and discipline, I think, is the two most underrated.
Oh yes.
Personality features that a man can have.
Yeah.
And just sticking to his guns, knowing who he is, what he tolerates, and what he doesn't, and actually following up through with it. That is a big attraction for women, because most guys don't ask women to do anything but just look good and whatever.
Show up.
And
That's
then,
right.
and so I remember he asked, I used to send him pictures of food that I cooked because he didn't believe I knew how to cook. I mean,
I remember that.
and then the first month that we lived together, I made it like my goal was to serve him a different meal every night
day
for
for
a
30
month.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a month.
Yeah.
Needless to say, like, that was great and all, but you gotta like really eat the same type of things every day because fitness wise, it's not good for you. But it was fun while it lasted.
And then I have one question, me personally, but like I think the audience might gain from it as well. So you had the lifestyle, law girls, back and forth,
Yeah.
Penthouse, fast lifestyle. But was that fulfilling for you? And what made you say, you know what? I think it's time for me to say, you know what? She's the one I could chill with, have a good vibe with, and possibly see in the future as mine.
It was a lot of fun. It was not fulfilling, guys. It was good fun. But looking back, and I certainly don't regret my Vegas days. That was a magic fucking carpet ride. I probably don't remember half of it. But a lot of like men who find this community, because I used to be one of those guys, dude, I'm gonna smash 10 bitches a week or 10 bitches a month, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Yep. I actually got to do that. But there is something to be said. There's something to be said about waking up one morning and not remembering where you are. There's something to be said about waking up in the morning and trying to remember whether or not you used a condom last night. There's something to be said about saying, God, do I have to go to the fucking clinic and get tested for STDs? There's something to be said about, some bitch showing up at your door with a kid who looks just like you 2 years later. I'm not saying that my Vegas experience was not a good time, because it definitely was. But it wasn't fulfilling. I recommend every guy get that out of your system, just to say that you did, just so you understand. The player life is fun. It's not fulfilling, and there's a lot more to it than just smashing hoes left and right. And you two should know that by now, especially living here in Miami. It's not all fun and games, man. There's a lot of maintenance involved. Oh my God, it's
dangerous.
It's what?
It's dangerous, man.
It's very dangerous. And then of course, with my mentality, it was getting like the Vegas life was swallowing me whole. I was getting into fights. I was doing too much. Dude, I'd blow 5 straight days once. It really, really got out of control. And so I said, okay, I'm going to remove myself from the situation. This of course is when I met Devon. I remember it was a long time ago. Oh, I read an article on Wilt Chamberlain. He famously slept with 20,000 women or something like that. And I'll never forget, he said in this article, he said, listen, having 1,000 ladies is great, but having one woman is what really makes your life a lot of fun. I had all the success, I had all the girls, and it was fun, but it was not fulfilling. I'm glad that I did it, but now that I'm successful, my life is so much better now that I have someone to share it with.
Right.
And to have someone to share those experiences. Like, it would have been great to go to Hawaii by myself, but going with her was a lot of fun. It would have been great to fly over the Grand Canyon out in Vegas by myself, but going with her was a lot of fun. And I know a lot of guys sort of swear off dating in relationships. To you guys, I'm not mad at you. I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
But what you really need to understand is that we as humans, we have an inherent desire for relationships. Unfortunately for men these days, it's very, very difficult to cultivate good, solid relationships. But what really made me decide to go all in on her was when she gave me access to her phone, cameras everywhere. I was like, oh, she really wants me to trust her.
She wanted to do it. You didn't ask for it.
That's
I
right.
think that's very important. People understand that a lot women are very aware and sensitive to when they know they're around the best option they can be, and they will start to do things that they might have not necessarily done for other guys for you to try to get that commitment. So you guys, this is why we tell you got to get your money out point. You cannot demand excellence from a woman to be an excellent girlfriend unless you are excellent yourself.
The How to Relationship podcast is now recruiting for Philadelphia. If you will be in or around the greater Philadelphia metropolitan area between April 28th and April 30th and would like to be a guest on the podcast, go to howtorelationship.net/guest. Take 5 to 10 seconds to fill out a quick form and a staffer will contact you if selected. Link in description.